Hey guys, so I am going to be doing a review today on one of my absolute favorite makers, CuddleBlossom cloth. This is an Etsy shop run by a fabulous lady named Katie, and this is probably one of my absolute favorite pad shops, and I'm super excited that I was able to find this shop, and I actually found it through Katie's YouTube channel, which is CuddleBlossom. I'll link both her Etsy shop and her YouTube channel below, so you can check those out after you're done watching this video. But this is somebody that I really highly recommend. The customer service from this shop is absolutely amazing. The product quality is high, and they're really unique too, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to share with you guys the pads that I have, because I absolutely love them. They're the favorites in my stash. So I ordered one pad from her in my first order. That's my typical MO. I usually don't like to order multiples if I haven't tried a maker's product before. And the first pad that I ever ordered was this 9-inch regular pad. She calls this topper Ghastly Gown, and it's from the Ghastly's fabric. You've probably seen this before. But her pads have kind of a really subtle flair to them. And she's got some tab wings, some rounded tab wings. This particular pad has micro fleece as the backer. Her pads are a combination of flannel and bamboo fleece, depending on the absorbency. You know, the layers obviously change. And her absorbencies are marked by this cute little ribbon. So the 2 dots is a regular. And I also have this 9-inch heavy pad, which is my newest in my CuddleBlossom collection. This pad is cotton topped and anti-pill fleece backed. And then her heavy pads are 3 dots. This topper is called Royal Peacock, and this is probably my favorite pad by her and one of my top 5 favorite pads ever. I mean, just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And as you can see, she does this really cool wavy stitch to attach her cores to her toppers. And I think that that is really neat. I like it. And she does pre-sew her cores before she attaches them to her toppers. So you don't have to worry about any sort of like rolling or bunching underneath the topper. And I mean, they're just, I mean, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So the next 2 pads that I want to show you guys are just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to show you them at the same time because they're from the same cut of fabric. And it's these. Look at how gorgeous they are. Isn't that amazing? So this is the Lost at Sea print, and this is a print that I think Katie is probably most famous for. There is a siren print from this same cut of fabric. I really liked this gentleman. I thought that he was really interesting looking. So she and I actually did a swap where I did a patchwork pad for her, and then she sent me this guy. I mean, he is awesome looking. And if you look closely at the stitching, she has actually done a little bit of quilting almost to attach this topper to the core. And I think that that is fantastic looking. And she does this depending on the topper material. So if you look closely at her listings, you can see when she does that versus when she does her little wavy stitch. But this is probably the most common. And then here's my other one. This is my whale and the poor little sailors that are about to be lost at sea there. And these 2 are both regular, so they've got the 2 dots. Her pads are, I would say, probably moderately plush. I mean, if you look at the heavy pad that I have of hers, it's not an overly thick pad, but it's also not a pad that's overly thin. And I think sometimes I like a slightly thicker pad, especially on my really heavy days when I'm cramping a lot. I kind of like to feel like I have a little bit of a pillow, and it's got this kind of very slight like squishiness to it. It's not an overly thick pad by any means, but it's just got that little bit of just, you know, it's pleasant, you know, it feels like a little pillow. But her regulars are like paper thin, and they absorb a lot. I have been very successful in using her regular pads with probably a little bit more than a moderate flow and not had any issues. So just to compare the heavy to the regular, that's the difference. So again, not overly plush and not, you know, the thinnest pads I've ever seen, but the bamboo fleece that she uses is really absorbent, and she sandwiches it, I think, in the flannel, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I love the construction of her pads. I think that she is an amazing seamstress, and I think that her customer service is what really kind of is the icing on the cake. Just absolutely enjoy working with her. She's so amazing, and I will definitely continue to buy from CuddleBlossom. So I hope that you'll take a look at her shop. I hope that you'll give it a try. I think that she has something for everybody. She's got some vintage prints. She'll always like throw in one of, you know, the popular prints that all the shops have, but for the most part, they're really awesome, just unique or vintage or modern, or she just has just a great eye for the types of fabrics that will work great on such a tiny, tiny little canvas. And her placement is amazing. You know, I couldn't imagine this particular character fitting on a pad better than that. I mean, amazing. And then this peacock. I mean, look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? And I think that she does a really good job picking her backer materials so that they're complementary, but they're not matchy-matchy. You know what I mean? It feels like these are kind of like an artistic expression of hers and not just kind of thrown together with like whatever she found on sale. I mean, her pads just seem like she puts a lot of thought into them, and I can really respect that. I think that that is a really awesome thing, to not just kind of pump them out like a mill, but to really think about it and to have a really high quality product that she can really stand by. So in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely be talking to you guys soon, and I appreciate everything. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.